So guys, this thing was tight as Dick's hat band. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression before, but that's pretty freaking tight. I never knew Dick, but apparently he had a really tight hat band. All right, guys, Rocky here with Tomahawk Farms. We're working on the skid steer today, and Sean Boy, he's figuring out where sockets are going. We got a tool pusher. He's tool pusher today. So we got a bunch of sockets, and we're trying to get them all separated out. So while he's doing that, I am going to change the hydraulic filter on the skid steer. It's been kind of hollering at me for a few days now. I think I don't know, about 8 hours over on it. So anyway, I'm going to walk you through this, what I'm doing, and help you. So Cat conveniently puts it right here, which is not bad. So if you're looking at the back of your skid steer from here, it's up in there. Okay, so I just cut this little coffee bucket down a little bit, so maybe it'll fit underneath there a little easier. Okay, so we have success getting it in there. Will we be able to get it out? Yeah, we'll be able to get it out without dumping it everywhere. So I'm going to put that in there like that for right now. Nope, let's try a 3/4. So I should have went on YouTube and, yep, it's a 3/4. All right, let me see. Somebody's probably already done this on YouTube. Oh, there it goes. So it wasn't hard to get loose. Where's our new bag of paper towels at? Can we get a roll of paper towels over here, Sean Boy?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
There you go.
I appreciate that. All right. So we're going to let that drain here for just a minute. And you could probably see it's still dribbling just a little bit there, not too much. So it don't take much. It's probably only about a half a cup of oil in it. But you don't want to drain anything like that in the bottom of your skid steer or any piece of equipment that you don't have to, because it's just going to catch more dirt and it'll build up. So now, just to let you know, for transparency, I have never changed. I don't believe I have ever changed the hydraulic filter. I don't know that I've ever worked on a skid steer. I don't remember. I think I replaced the glass in one of them in North Dakota when I was working up there. A guy knocked a window out of the front glass, and I put a new front glass in one. But I think that's the only thing I've ever done to a skid steer. These machines, I don't know, they've been popular for a long time, but I haven't been around them that much. And I probably would have had one years ago if I realized what they're capable of doing. All the tasks you can do with a skid steer. But I didn't know. So I'm thinking about putting this back in. I'll put this little bleeder screw back in and go ahead and pull the rest of that housing off of there. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get it all back in there tight. And I can only feel my way in there. Which, if you've done much mechanic work, this is just part of it. You're like the Aborigines walking in the dark without a moon. You think your way. I'm not having much luck getting this started, though, thinking about it. There it went. Well, there we go. Now the threads are straight. Okay, I had the threads all crooked. And I stuck my hand in the oil, which is all right, as long as I didn't turn it over in there. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't appear that I spilled any of the oil in the little bucket. So now we can get the bucket out of here without dumping all of it. So yeah, there's, I don't know, probably a couple of cups of oil in the little bucket. Not a whole lot. It's pretty dark too. So I'm thinking maybe a fluid change might be in order. Still may need a breaker bar though. Unless I can get some leverage up top here. Gosh dang it. Yeah, I'm gonna need a breaker bar with this.
There's a pipe right there. I'll stick that in there.
Holy mackerel. Oh yeah, that's a breaker bar. And that'll either take it off or break it for sure. Holy mackerel. That's tight. Gosh dang it. Okay. Why? Why? Why is it so tight? Okay, am I doing anything wrong here? So, make sure I'm not mistaken. Yep, I mean that's got to come off the bottom there to make that work, to be able to pull that cartridge out of there. Mercy, that thing's on there though. Folks, that is too tight. That's where you start breaking stuff if you're not careful. Okay, did it break loose or did I break it off? Let's see what happened. So, well, guess what? I just dropped that socket down in the bottom of the stinking thing. But we'll see. Maybe if I grab it up here a little higher. And everything in here is sharp on the back of this fan housing. So it's all trying to cut me. And I'm sure I'll be bleeding before this is over. This filter wrench is a little too small, or a little bit too big, I should say. And it's camming over. Let me see if I can find a better place to put this light. There we go. Now it's not in my eyes or yours. Golly gee willikers, George. Okay, so guys, this thing was tight as Dick's hat band. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression before, but that's pretty freaking tight. I never knew Dick, but apparently he had a really tight hat band. So I had to use, I'll show you here in a second. Let me get this sucker threaded off, and hopefully I got all the oil out of it and it's not a mess. But I'm going to show you what I had to use to get this stinking thing off of here. Oh, so here's the culprit. And I got a new one over here. And after further review, it looks like that oil is pretty dirty. Like, I'm thinking the filter don't look too good either compared to the new one. Oh, let me get a paper towel here and I'll show you. I'll show you a new oil filter. Should be right here. Summers. Okay. So there's a side by side. It ain't hard to tell the difference between the two. So, oh, I just splattered that crap everywhere. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's pretty dirty. The hydraulic fluid is kind of dirty too in that pan. There's the old filter, there's the new filter. So that'd make a good thumbnail, I think, right there. Boom, thumbnail. So here's what I had to use to get it off of here. I used a 2-foot aluminum pipe wrench, and I barely got a hold of it. And then I used a 4-foot, can't get that all on the camera, aluminum pipe, and broke it loose. And it went pop. And Sean Boy said, was that good or was that bad?
Yeah.
I said it was good. So anyway, we got her off, and we're going to change the element and put her back together. But I've learned a little bit about this thing. I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I went ahead and raised the radiator a little bit. And it allowed for more room. Not a whole bunch more, but more. So more is always better, right? All right, guys, so after having the filter out and everything, if you take your filter out, you might notice that top of that neck on that filter is turned one way. It's kind of cocked sideways a little bit. Well, I put the filter up in there, and it's got this little block right here on it. If you turn it, it'll hit the spot where it fits flat, and you can feel it. So in my case, I'll put it in there and I'll turn it a little bit this way. And then once I thread it on, it'll come around and it'll hit that spot and it'll lock in where it's supposed to be. So, but I did that without the filter. I just did that with the filter first to see exactly where it was going to sit in there flat. I'll see if I can show you in here. I'll have to pull this filter out again. All right. You're going to need some assistance. Sean Boy, can you pull that filter out of there for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just pull it straight up. You might have to pull these tabs in a little bit, maybe. There you go. So the tabs kind of lock it in. Here, let me pull the tabs. There we go. Okay. So, let me see if I can turn my light on again. My light has just about died on me, because it took forever to get this thing off of here. So when you're putting your filter in there, if you look, like, I'm going to try to get this so it's angled that way. But if you turn it a little bit towards the front, when you get it up in there, you'll see it's when it sits flat like that, you can feel the O-ring engaging in it up there, and it stops. You can't turn it anymore. Anyway, that's it. Hydraulic filter change on a 2019 279D Cat skid steer. All right, guys, stay safe. God bless.